This saltwater aquarium had disappeared behind algae. The glass was dirty, the surface was covered in film, and the filtration needed attention. But underneath it all, the ecosystem was still alive, so I brought it back. My saltwater aquarium journey started with a tiny setup and a lot of excitement. At first, I had no idea how sensitive a marine system could be. Every fish, coral, and small invertebrate depended on stable water and consistent care. After learning from that first tank, I built a second one with better planning and more confident. Then came my third and most ambitious setup with more space, better equipment, and far more marine life. It took incredible, but bigger also means more maintenance. Eventually, I no longer had the space or time to care for it properly, so I downsized to a smaller aquarium that would be easier to manage. Coral reefs are full of life. Every rock and coral becomes a tiny habitat for fish, shrimp, snails, and countless microorganisms. Some creatures hide between the rocks, while others spend the day searching for food. Together, they form a small but incredibly complex underwater ecosystem. That smaller tank became the system you see today. And after a period of neglect, it was obvious that it needed more than a quick wipe. It needed a proper reset. The glass was covered in algae. Organic waste had collected at the surface, and the several parts of the filtration system were overdue for cleaning. In a saltwater aquarium, these problems rarely happen in isolation. Light, nutrition, circulation, and maintenance all affect one another. My goal wasn't simply to make the tank look better for the camera. I wanted to restore visibility and flow without disturbing the fish, corals, and other animals living inside. So I started with the first problem I could see immediately: the surface. A greasy film had formed across the water. This is usually a mix of proteins, oils, and other organic materials collecting at the surface. Besides looking bad, it can reduce gas exchange. I am using a surface skimmer to pull water from the very top and remove that layer. Within a few passes, the surface already looks much cleaner. Next is the protein skimmer. It removes dissolved organic waste. Before that material can break down into the water. I clean the collection area, put everything back in place, and move on to the part that will make the biggest visual difference: the glass. The algae layer on the inside is thick, so I work slowly around the rocks, corals, and animals. A few careful passes are enough to reveal how much was hiding behind the glass. This is probably the most satisfying part of the entire cleaning process. With every section I clear, the aquarium starts to feel open again. Then I clean the overflow box. Water passes through this area on its way to the filtration system. So, buildup here can restrict flow for the narrow spaces. A simple toothbrush works surprisingly well. Once the debris is removed, water can move through the system properly again. The last cleaning step is the outside glass. Salt, marks and dried water spots can make even a healthy tank look neglected. A quick clean here makes the difference immediately visible. And now, for the first time in a long while, I can actually see the aquarium again. The water is moving, the glass is clear, and the animals are finally back in focus. This is the part I enjoy most. Once the equipment and glass are clean, you can stop looking at the maintenance and start looking at the ecosystem. Fish move between the rocks, corals respond to the current, and tiny animals appear in places that were almost impossible to see before. A saltwater aquarium is never just decoration. It's a living network of water movement, filtration, microorganisms, algae, corals, and fish. Cleaning gives me a better view, but the real goal is stability. The tank still needs regular maintenance, but now I can observe it properly and catch small problems before they become big ones. I also added some macroalgae and a few extra rocks to give the layout more depth and structure. The rocks create new hiding places, while the macroalgae adds movement, color, and another living element to the system. And this is the result. The surface is clear, the glass is clean, the filtration is flowing properly, and the underwater world is visible again. It isn't a brand new aquarium, it is the same ecosystem, just given the care it needed. If you enjoyed this restoration, subscribe for more aquarium projects and tell me in the comments what should I add or change in this tank next.